Hello YouTube! Back with another video, and this one is going to be very interesting, especially for the atheists. And I know I'm going to ruffle a few feathers, and I know a lot after I've done my presentation, I know a lot of them are going to say, oh no, you're misinterpreting this and that. No, I'm not. Um, what this will reveal is, because I know a lot of atheists have never read The Origin of Species by Charles Darwin, even though that's not the the actual length of the title. It's actually spliced in half there. And uh, but in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that how Charles Darwin believed in God, and his book is proof of that. But yet atheists will say, oh, Big Bang, everything evolved, right after that, and there's no God, no nothing. However, that's not what Charles Darwin says in his book. And I want you to turn to the last 2 pages of The Origin of Species. The last 2 pages. And so if you have it on PDF, if you have it actually pull off your shelf, go to the last 2 pages, and I want you to start the beginning of the paragraph from where it says authors of the highest eminence. So pause the video, find that, it's I think the last page and a half. It says the paragraph begins with authors of the highest eminence. So once you get there, play the video, and so you can pause it right now and go search for it. Now that you have it, I'll start reading because I have the PDF version, so I'll read it for you. This is from the 6th edition, and so it starts off like this. Authors of the highest eminence seem to be fully satisfied with the view that each species has been independently created. To my mind, it accords better with what we know of the laws impressed on matter by the Creator. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, evolution does not believe that there's a creator. Why does Darwin give credit to a creator? But this is the thing, though. This is not the only time he does it. Now, let me read just further down on the paragraph here. 1 second here. Let me just find it. And it's at the very last paragraph. If you go down to the very last paragraph of the book, it starts off, there is grandeur in this view of life. So if you go down, it's the last paragraph of the book, and I'll read it. There is grandeur in this view of life, with its several powers having been originally breathed by the Creator into a few forms or into one, and that whilst this planet has gone circling on according to the fixed law of gravity. From so simple and beginning, endless forms, most beautiful and most wonderful, have been and are being evolved. Well, this goes into the whole. I'm trying to figure out what they call the term, where it's basically how they try to mix in creation with evolution. I can't remember like the whole gap theory thing, how each day is a million years. So they're trying to play it off that they try to reconcile creation with evolution, which is what this is trying to do. And so they're trying to say, oh, God created it, but everything evolves. Well, that can't happen because creation involves purpose, meaning, and direction. Evolution does not. Evolution is all random. It means anything can go anywhere. Nothing's directed. So if something is designed, that means if something is designed, it means it has a specific purpose. Period. If something is random, has no specific purpose, has no meaning, no direction, nothing, it just goes wherever it goes. So, and I can easily refute the whole gap theory thing. I mean, for example, look at the Sabbath day. I mean, if each day is a million years, as evolution will say, or even some creationists will say, oh, every day is 1,000 years for the age part. Well, there's a problem because on the Sabbath day you're supposed to rest, right, for a day. Well, if each day is a million years, what are you going to do? Rest for a million years? You're going to die. Think about that for a second. Now, getting back to the point here, you notice how Charles Darwin twice points to God as the creator. That's very telling. Very telling. And I'm not misrepresenting. You can read the last page and a half where I got this from. It's from his own book. So I'm not making anything up. I'm not trying to add something that's not there. It's right there. I mean, it says it was breathed by the Creator. And the laws of gravity talks about the law of gravity there, circling according to the fixed law of gravity. Well, I'm sorry, gravity does not create anything. We know that. Gravity just keeps things down, basically. That's what we know. You throw something up, it comes down. That's what gravity does. And scientists don't even know what gravity is. They just know how it operates. So gravity, the laws of nature, there are 4 laws of nature. Forgive me, I can't remember what the other 3 are, but if you can go Google them, 4 laws of nature, they're not responsible for creating anything. So then evolution has a problem there as well. And Charles Darwin clearly outlines it. Clearly. And so I don't know what else to add to it, because if atheists say that there is no God, they haven't read Charles Darwin, who's supposedly the father of evolution. Actually, he is not the father of evolution. It's actually Satan in the Garden of Eden. Genesis 3:5 says, "Ye shall be as gods," which is why atheists believe they have no accountability, only to themselves. That's where you're your own God. And to officially write it, man evolved from monkey. It was actually started well before Darwin, actually by his grandfather Erasmus Darwin. And just look for his book called Zoonomia. And one thing that's very interesting is that Charles Darwin's grandfather, Erasmus Darwin, was a Freemason. So he believed in God, just the wrong one, the God down below. And everyone around the time promoting evolution at that time with Charles Darwin were all Freemasons. That means you all worship the God down below. Just look at Albert Pike's work. He'll tell you all about that. And so it's very interesting to know that in the last chapter of Origin of Species, that we find that Charles Darwin believed in God, and he says everything evolved after that. Okay, well, regardless if he says everything evolved after that, problem is, for atheists, is that he says it was created by God, by the Creator. So Darwin, even though he got publicized for, creating evolution, which he did not, he still gives credit to where it's due, God. And so it's very interesting how most atheists, like I said, have never read The Origin of Species, and it's quite sad that if you stand firm belief in something and you have not read the actual manual of that belief, then there's a problem. And yes, evolution is a religion. Don't say, oh, it's a lack of belief in God. No. You see, your worldview is determined upon what you believe. See, if you believe that there is no God, you're going to look at the world as though there is no God. That's your belief system. You just don't believe in the God of the Bible. Not that there is no God. It's just the fact you believe that you yourself are your own God, because you're held accountable to no one except yourself. And it's quite telling, because a lot of atheists will keep telling me, oh, it's a lack of belief in God. No, it's a lack of belief in the biblical God. Not the lack of belief in a God, because you have to be your own God, because you have to be accountable to someone. Since you're accountable to no one, you're accountable to yourself. You can do what you want to do. That's religion. Last time I checked. I mean, I know you think about the candles, praying on Sunday, what have you. That's a second part of religion. The first one is your belief. You have to have a belief in something. You have to believe that the Big Bang happened. You have to believe that, man came from primordial soup. You have to believe that. You can't prove it, but you have to believe it. And you can throw out, oh, it's millions of years. Well, the scientific method has test and observation. You cannot do that. You just cannot do that. You cannot test and observe over millions of years. You don't live that long to see it. So, basic logic there. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, evolution is a religion. You're just the wrong one. Because you have to believe that it happened. You have no evidence of it. People can say, oh, it evolved millions of years. That's cool. Okay, how did it get there? Yeah, you can't see it, so how do you know what happened? They'll come up with the whole redshift or what have you, but then again, something has to be created. Something can't come out of nothing. We know that for sure. I mean, if something can come out of nothing, why don't you just make your own paycheck? Why don't you just evolve into your bank account? Just magically, poof, you got your, months or weeks pay in there. You don't have to pay you don't have to sweat out your brow. Sweat your brow to do labor. So very interesting that Charles Darwin twice, almost in the same chapter towards the end, points that there is a God, and many atheists do not know this. So please, whether Christian or atheist, please go investigate this. Please, because I don't want you just taking my word for it. Go look at yourself, and I'm pretty sure you're reading it right now. And I mean, you could say that it evolved after, but then that means the actual species will be reckless because there's no guidance in it. But with creation, there's a purpose. Evolution, there's no purpose. Everything's all relative. It's subjective. In creation, it's absolute and it's objective, meaning that there is a definite in there. And so yeah, so check it out for yourselves, guys, and enjoy the all the other videos I have on my channel there, and subscribe if you want. And see you in the next video. Take care.